Hi everyone, welcome to Learn Python. In the previous video, we have talked about for loop and we have seen many different scenarios where you iterate through range of numbers or a string or list or dictionary, different functions like range or enumerate or zip and nested for loop. So many other things we have done and it was a big tutorial. In this tutorial, we will talk about very important statement, break, continue and pass statement in context of for loop. Now let me tell you that these statements can be used with if-else conditions. These statements can be used with functions or while loops and other different control structures also. So once you understand the concept of break, continue or pass statement, you will be able to use those in combination with other control structure also. So we don't need to do it with every control structure in every tutorial, but this tutorial will give you an idea how and when to use these statements. So let me just go to this part of for loop. This is my table of content. Now, before I talk about break, continue and pass statement, I want to tell you one more thing, that here we are combining for loop with if else. Now, if else, simply if else or nested if else, these are conditional statement where you put one or more than one conditions and accordingly you have some task to execute, right? And for loop means you have something, you have some list or some sequence or something like that, and you want to iterate for each element of that sequence or that list, right? So these two are different concepts. I hope you are getting an idea when to use for loop, when to use the conditional statement. Now here we are seeing one example where we are combining both for loop with if else. Or if you find it heavy, you can slowly and gradually, after practicing a lot with the previous two tutorial, you can slowly and gradually write simple examples where you just combine for loop with if, or then you can add another aspect if else, or maybe do little more complicated example. In this tutorial, I will just give you one or two example for each case, that's it, and then you can practice. Now you see one example here. Here is the list age. In the list we have some elements. Now what I want to do is, for each element of this list, I want to first print those elements. For example, 26 is the first element. Now for that particular element, I want to see whether the age is less than something or greater than something. I want to put some condition. So here I am putting the condition. If the age is less than 20, I want the output as the junior. If the age is greater than 20, I want the output as the senior, right? You can have many other different conditions. For example, marks of the student in a list, right? And if the marks is less than 40% or something, you say fail. Greater than 40%, you say pass. Or maybe you have multiple condition that between 40 to 60% second grade or second division, greater than 60% first division, or maybe some other grade or something like that. So what you want to do is, you want to put a condition and you want to iterate through all the elements of that list. Here the list is the age list. How that can be done? So because we want to iterate, first of all we need to write the for loop. So here we are writing this for loop. Now let me just show you here so that you understand it better. This is the list age. To iterate for all the elements, you need to write for loop. So some index I am writing I, the default one, for I in age. Means what it will do? It will iterate through all the elements of this list. I hope this thing is clear. Now for this, what I want to do, when I hit enter, automatically it gets intended. So first of all, I just want to print age is, remember we can do this kind of a string concatenation using the print statement. Age is I. So it will simply print age is 26, age is 16, age is this, and so on. If I just run this, you see, you will get all these statements for each element of the list age, right? Age is this, age is this, age is this. Now, apart from printing the age, I want it to check for one condition if the age is less than or equal to 20. Because I need a condition, I need to use something like if. So I am writing if. This is inside for loop. That's why I am starting from here, right? And this is why it is having the intended code. If again here I am writing I because the value of I for which we are working, as of now the first element I is 26 and so on. Now I am checking if the age is less than equal to. When I write less than equal to, it's the comparison operator, less than equal to 20. What to do if age is less than equal to 20? When I hit enter, again the code is intended. So now I am writing inside the if condition and I am printing. Just you can write junior or whatever you want to print. You are a young boy, whatever, right? And I hit enter. Do I need to do anything else inside this if statement? I don't want to do. If you want to add something or do something, you can do. If I don't want to do, you see I'm using my left arrow key to get my cursor out of this if condition. And out of this if condition, what I want to do is I can use else. Else means if age is not less than 20, what I need to do? Again intended code, print, I want to print senior. So this is how it works. If I want to print anything outside these if else, I can again come here and I can print here whatever message I want to print. But let me just show you. If I print here some message, I'm just printing here text to show you. It will print for each element of this loop. It is not required, but I'm just showing you that it will print for each those elements because this is still inside the for loop. And if you want to print anything outside the for loop, right? So you can print here and I'm just printing done. So let me show you how it works is. So I hope you have guessed it. First, age is 26 for the first element because 26, it is checking the condition. If condition is not satisfied, so it is here in the else part, it is printing senior. Okay. Then it is printing text because we are asking it to print text every time, right? Next element 16. So age is 16. You can see here. Age is 16, junior, then text. Age is 18, junior, then text, and so on. So this text is unnecessary. I am just showing you that it is repeating because it is inside the for loop. If you don't want this text, just comment it and now you will be able to see age is 26, senior, age is 16, junior, and so on, right? So we have seen how we have used if else inside for loop. Now I want to show you that suppose sometimes we want to break the loop. We don't want to print all the values there. We want to break the loop whenever age is having some criteria. Let me show you in the next code chunk here. For example, again I want to do some example and I want to make a condition that if the age is greater than 40, come out of the for loop. So let me just change the condition here. Age is greater than 40. Suppose I'm enrolling student for some course or I'm doing a drive for a particular job and I don't want anyone who is greater than 40, right? So it is printing the age. It is clear till here. I am checking the condition if age is greater than 40. Now what to do if age is greater than 40? We don't want to print senior and junior. We just want it to come out of the loop. Okay. And then print done. Now what it will do is it will check for each age it is printing up to here. But here age is greater than 40. So it will just break the loop, come out of this. It means it will not print the age of these two members. Sorry, 36 will not be printed. Let's see the output here. 45 is still printing because we have used the print statement prior to this condition. That's why it's printing. And you can experiment with this. Let's see this. So if you write the print statement instead of here after the if condition like this. So what it will do, it will check the age. Whenever age is greater than 40, it will come out of the loop. Otherwise, if the age is not greater than 40, it will keep on printing age is this. So this time you will not see this line. Let me run it. So it is printing up to 35. Whenever the age is greater than 40, it is breaking the loop, coming out of the loop. Sometimes you want to break a loop for a particular condition, right? This is how break works. Now, what about continue? Continue means you want it to continue the loop, right? So instead of break, you can use continue. Let me show you one example. So you want to skip this number, which is greater than 40. You want to skip all those members whose age is greater than 40, but you want to continue the loop because you don't want to miss out the observations which are after this number and useful to you. So let me just show you a similar example here. Suppose these are my entries. Again, I have 34 here. Again, I have 43 here and 23. I have added few more elements to show you that whenever the code stops, still we get the remaining elements. And what I want to do is, I just want to change one thing. Instead of break, I am using continue. So what it will do is, it will continue the loop. What is the logic of using it then? It will check the condition. Whenever the condition is met, it will skip that particular number and continue doing it for rest of the members, right? And let's see how it works. You can see the output is age is 26, age is 16, 18, 19, 35. Okay. Now after 35 we have 36 because this 45 it has skipped and it has continued to the next element 36, then 34, then again skip this element, then 23. So whenever you want to skip particular elements, for example, you have missing values in the list and you want to skip particularly those missing values. So you can put a condition here which identifies the missing values and you can continue for the rest of the data. We will see all those things later on. Don't worry about that. But I hope the concept of break and continue is clear to you. Now, pass is very, very simple. What it does nothing. Let me show you one example. So here is a very simple if condition. I told you that these break, continue, pass, all these works with for loop or if else or whatever, right? So just if I do it with if condition, what happens? We get nothing. Because x is 10, we are checking if x is less than 5. Then what to do? We are not asking Python to do anything. Pass is basically a null statement. It asks Python to do nothing. And why it is useful, I will talk about that. But let's see another example. Here x is the list and we are creating a for loop that for each element in this list, you need to pass. And you see it will do nothing. And there are different other examples where we are using the pass thing. So basically it will do nothing when it is useful. Suppose you are not sure what condition you want to use in future, right? But you have some rough idea that for these things you will have certain condition. For example, we have talked about marks of student. So you have marks of student in a list. Like these are the marks of student, right? And if you are not sure as of now that for these categories of marks, what should be the grade or what should be the price or how much scholarship they should get, you are not sure about the particular decision as of now, but you know the cutoff, then you can create a for loop or if else kind of condition because you want to iterate. So you need to start with for. So for I in marks, what you want to do, you need to check if I is less than equal to 60, do nothing. I'm not sure whether they will get any scholarship or not. Otherwise, you know that the condition is L if the marks means I is in range. So let me write 61 up to 80 pass and else 80 to 100 pass. So suppose you are making some rule. So what we have done is we have created a for loop and if marks is less than 60, you don't know what to do with them. If marks is between 61 to 81, you are not sure how much scholarship they can avail. If marks are greater than 80 and up to 100, you are not sure how much scholarship you can offer to them. So you have some criteria that you are going to break up their marks in these 2-3 categories. But as of now, you are not sure how much scholarship you can offer to them based on their marks. So instead of writing the empty for loop, you can use pass statement, because if you just write empty for loop or empty if condition, you will get an error. Let me just show you. If I just write if x is less than 10 and nothing. And if I just run this, I will get an error that syntax is not complete. You see, this kind of syntax error we are getting because it is expecting us to write something here. And even if I just write it that I don't know, I will decide in future using a comment, then too we get an error because Python simply skip the comment which we write. Comment are for us to understand later on what we have done. So instead of writing this thing that I will decide it later, we need to give some statement which is valid for Python. So if I write this kind of pass statement and run this, this will not throw an error. And this is useful because as of now we are just running the code in pieces, right? I'm just running particular code chunk. But when we work in Python and when we work for solving real problems, we create a script or we create a file and we run the entire file. And when we have this kind of statement which breaks or whenever we get the error, so script would not be able to run. So we can create this kind of empty statement, empty if else, empty for loops so that we don't get error in that particular script, and later on we can always edit and we can write whatever we want to do instead of this pass. I hope you got an idea that pass statement are used temporarily so that the script can run without any errors, and later on you can edit those pass statement when you want to do that. I hope this makes some sense to you. So let me now summarize quickly. First of all, I have talked about when we use for loop and when we use conditions like if else. You will see later that we have other loops also, while and do and something else, and we have also talked about other conditions, nested if else and many other things. Broadly, for loops are used when you want to repeat something for repeated process. And you remember we write it like this: for I in, and here we have something which is iterable, which we can pick multiple elements from, right? Something like that, and then we have some statement here. And if else means conditional. So here we have some condition. If we have some particular condition that if that happen then I will do this, if that happen then I will do this, then we use if else. So in if statement we have some condition here, and condition is mostly using the comparison operator. If you don't know, you can watch my videos on operators. So comparison operator means less than equal to, greater than equal to, in that, or something like that. If that is true, that is false, some particular condition. And if you understand English, you will be able to understand whether the particular statement is a condition or not, right? So again colon here, and again indentation, and here you write the statement. So this was for and this was if else, but we can combine these two together. So if we want to use these two together, so for I in something, suppose this is to make it very simple, my list 1, 2, 3. Now for each element of this list, I want to do something, but I have some condition. So I can use here if this or do this, and I can even use else if I want to, else this, do this, and so on. And if I want, I can make some statement, do this. So this is a combination of for with if else, right? Now we will talk about break, continue, and pass. So break we use whenever we want to break the loop. So if I write for I in something, and here we have some condition, if the condition, and here we write break inside, it is break in small letters, and something here outside, if this, right? So what it will do, if this condition is met, then it will break the loop. It will just come out of the loop. We have seen the age example. When the age was, here the condition, age was greater than 40, it has break the loop. So it is not counting any element which are now after that failure of that condition, right? If you want that condition to be satisfied, but you want those particular element to be skipped which are not meeting your criteria here, not meeting your condition here, so instead of break, you can use continue. So this was the concept, examples we have talked in the video, and the pass statement. It can be used with if or for loop, or obviously it can be used to create empty functions, empty classes, and so on. So we will see the uses later on. But basically, when we are not sure what to do for that loop or for that condition, and still we want to create that for future use, temporarily we want to create that structure, and we don't want our script to break, and we don't want to get the bugs when we run the entire script. So we can do it like this. We have this for loop and we are not sure what to do. We just write pass. So it will do nothing and it will not throw an error. So basically this is a null statement which will do nothing but help you not to get errors when you run that particular loop or the condition. I hope this is clear. If you have any doubt, write it in the comment box. Thank you for watching.